margins overall in grocery business are relatively thin. So you really need like very tight operations, operational excellence. You got to really like, run a very tight ship. So can you explain like, first of all, by contrast, in case anybody doesn't know, like what are typical gross margins in, I don't know, like for example, a regular grocery or I don't know, Whole Foods or whatever versus yours? And also exactly how you've been able to increase these with this new kind of distribution system that you have.
Well, there's really very little margin left on the conventional grocery side. So non-organic, non-specialty, you're lucky, high teens, low 20s maybe. It's why, we could talk, a whole other program about M&A activity in the grocery space, but it's why organic and specialty is still such a hot category in grocery, because it's a way for conventional grocers to enhance margin. And that's why all the acquisitions are happening in the specialty, and natural space on the grocery side, because it's an overall margin enhancer. So for us being on the discount side, and being a price leader and yet still pulling 30+% margin speaks to, number one, the relationships we have with our vendors and the sort of programs that we have in place, and the fact that we're hard negotiators. We drive a hard bargain, and we want competitive costing to achieve everyday low pricing. And so I'm very, very proud of that fact, especially in a challenging environment that COVID presented, to be able to continue to increase our gross profit percentage while exiting out of our centralized DC is tremendous. And then, just touching on that, last year was a pivotal point in the company transitioning out of our centralized distribution facility into a decentralized model, because it shed a tremendous amount of cost from our P&L. And you see that in numbers, in our P&L, like things like rent, labor, utilities, transportation, all the things that went into running a warehouse are coming off our P&L each quarter and allowing us to run a much leaner organization, and leads to one of the points we'll talk about the go forward for this year. But it increases the possible site selections across Ontario that we can access, that we potentially couldn't access before by having a warehouse.